Imagine this, it's 2015, we're standing in the gym for the first time, staring at all the equipment, feeling lost and completely out of our depth. Just like you, we wanted to get ripped, but we had no clue where to start. Fast forward to today and we've managed to build the bodies of our dreams. We'll be honest with you, it's not going to happen overnight, but if you can follow these 5 steps, it'll get you closer to your goals than you ever thought possible. Okay, for step 1, let's start with what we call a minimum effective routine, the foundations of an effective training program. If we could only give you one piece of advice after years of training, it would be this. Getting ripped isn't about lifting weights, it's about training with purpose. We're starting with this because it's the most valuable thing we've learned in our 10 years training. Let's give you an example to explain it. You're setting out to build a house. At first, it's tempting to think that the more bricks, beams and nails you throw into it, the stronger it'll be. So you dive in, using every tool you can find, stacking the bricks where possible and adding extra supports. But after some time, the foundation begins to show some cracks. It turns out those extra bricks and beams weren't reinforcing your house. They were adding weight without structure, making it harder to stay strong and balanced. When we started training, we took a similar approach in the gym. We thought that to get ripped, we needed to do every exercise, spending hours lifting and doing as many sets as possible. Over time, we started to realise that more didn't mean better. Just like building a house, you need a stable, purposeful foundation if you want something that lasts. Building a minimum effective routine is about laying down the foundation with only what you need. Instead of adding unnecessary exercises to your sessions, focus on the structural beams of training, the core compound exercises, things like squats, bench presses and deadlifts. These exercises are like the main supports of your house. They work multiple muscle groups and give you the size and the definition you're aiming for without wasting energy. For the best results to build muscle, we'd advise doing 6 exercises with 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps every session. Aim to work each muscle group at least twice a week with plenty of rest in between. We've shared a training program you can follow in the description of this video. Unfortunately, building your dream physique isn't as simple as this. A ripped body is about having big, defined muscles, so your training has to be designed specifically for building muscle. When we first started, we made the classic mistake. We tried to lift as heavy as possible, copying all the biggest guys in the gym and thinking it would give us the fastest results. The main secret we've learned in our decade of training is that it's not just about lifting weights, it's how you lift them. Think about it, bodybuilders, athletes and powerlifters all train with weight, but bodybuilders have the most muscle. Why? Because they focus on form, not just moving a weight from point A to point B. They use slightly lighter weights and aim to keep constant tension on the target muscle, which creates more muscle damage and ultimately bigger gains. It sounds simple, but it's so difficult to apply. Based on the science, there's 3 proven strategies to build muscle. Mechanical tension, or using a heavy weight while keeping constant tension on the muscle. Muscle damage, focusing on controlled movements, especially on the lowering phase. And metabolic stress, doing higher reps with lighter weights. If you can master all 3 techniques, you're going to take your physique to the next level. Now you've got your foundations in place, the next step to building a ripped physique is lowering your body fat percentage. Talking from first-hand experience, no matter how much muscle you build, if you've got a layer of fat covering it, you're not going to see it. You've probably heard the saying, fitness is 80% nutrition and 20% training. Whether it's true or not, having a good diet is the key to getting a low body fat percentage. We didn't figure this out straight away. It took us years of yo-yo dieting and confusion before we finally found a balance that worked for us. If like us you're not aiming for ultra low body fat, a balanced approach might work best for you. We use something called the 80-20 rule. 80% of our calories coming from nutrient dense foods and 20% from the treats we enjoy. We've proven to ourselves that we can have our dream body but still enjoy our life, and you can too. If you're looking to take things to the next level and want single-digit body fat, you're going to need to be more disciplined. To support muscle building, start with a bulking phase where you're in a 10 to 15% calorie surplus for at least 6 months. Then, once you're satisfied with your muscle base, use a cutting phase with a 20% calorie deficit to lower your body fat and reveal your hard-earned muscle. Especially when cutting fat, you're going to want to get your protein intake high. Aim to get at least 1.7 grams per kilo of body weight. Spread it throughout the day, aiming for 25 to 30 grams per meal and focus on high quality sources. If you bulk and cut effectively, you'll be able to reach your goal of getting ripped 10 times faster. The third step is one that people often overlook, setting a sleep schedule. Believe it or not, sleep's the secret weapon to getting ripped because it impacts both your training routine and your ability to lose fat. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which plays a huge role in muscle repair and fat loss. Not to mention, sleep affects insulin sensitivity and the hormones that control your appetite. This year is the first time we've really committed to taking our sleep seriously, and it's transformed our bodies. Over the last few years, we plateaued massively with our strength in the gym. We started to notice that every night we got more sleep, we'd have a great gym session the next day. We were lifting better, recovering faster, and losing fat quicker. Aim for a minimum of 7 hours sleep per night and make sure it's quality sleep. Set yourself up in a cool, dark room and keep your sleep and wake times consistent. Treat getting enough sleep as a crucial part of your recovery strategy. Now you've got your essentials down, your training, your diet and your sleep, here's where the magic happens. If you never evaluate and adjust, you won't know where to improve and you'll always stay exactly the same. We see it all the time, people repeating the same routine every week and wondering why they're not getting stronger and leaner. Fitness is a journey, meaning what works now might need tweaking later. When we started, we didn't evaluate anything either. We improved fast thanks to our newbie gains, but as we got more experienced, our improvements slowed down. Because we didn't evaluate our progress, we didn't know how to adjust our routine and couldn't improve. That's when we learnt to track. We started by noting down our lifts in a diary, and we'd recommend you do it too. Just write down your exercises, reps and weight. It's that simple. Now we use an app called Strong to track everything. It's great because it tells us our lifts from the previous week, helping focus on progressive overload and ensuring we're constantly progressing. What's even more important to getting ripped is tracking body changes. Take weekly photos, measurements and weigh-ins. Seeing even a slight improvement will keep you motivated and on track. Nutrition tracking is just as important. A small calorie deficit can make a huge difference to you getting ripped. Apps like MyFitnessPal can help you keep track of your intake, and wearable devices like Whoop let you monitor sleep and recovery.
The majority of people that are talking about fitness trackers
think of tracking as your personal roadmap. It shows where you're succeeding and where you need a tweak. The final step to you building your dream body this year is the most important. It's building an accountability system. The journey's going to be tough at times. There's going to be moments of doubt, frustration, and you're going to be tempted to quit. This is why accountability, whether from yourself, a friend, or a community, is key. For us, accountability has been a game changer. Being consistently good beats being occasionally perfect. For the last decade, we've been consistently training 4 times a week, every week, no matter what. We've seen friends with better genetics and more knowledge struggle to reach their goals, simply because they couldn't stay consistent. We weren't always the most knowledgeable or gifted, but we never stopped showing up. You might be wondering how you can build this consistency yourself. We like to write our long-term goals, breaking them down into smaller and more manageable tasks. Celebrate your little wins because they help you build momentum. It's going to take some discipline. You'll need to do some things you don't want to do to get to where you want to be. But as you start to improve, you'll feel more motivated than ever. As you get more experience, think of new ways to keep your training exciting. We switch things up regularly, boxing for coordination, doing calisthenics for balance, and running for cardio.
That's really steep hill training.
Which not only helps us be more athletic, but means we have fun with what we do. If you're finding it hard to hold yourself accountable, consider training with a friend or joining a community. We've built a free Facebook community where you can connect with others on the same journey, share advice and ask questions. The link's in the description, so feel free to join us. So now you know the 5 steps to getting ripped this year. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about staying consistent. If you're ready to go deeper, make sure you subscribe and don't miss our next video where we show you exactly how to go from 25% to 15% body fat. You don't want to miss it.